Welcome to Gardening with Ben, the podcast where we dig into the soil of our gardens and the depths of our green thumbs. I'm your host Ben, here to guide you through the joys of gardening from sowing seeds to reaping bountiful harvests. Each episode will explore tips, tricks and tales from the garden and allotment, sharing insights from ourselves and stories from our own back garden adventures. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting your hands dirty for the first time, there's something here for everyone. So grab your brew and gardening gloves and let's get growing with Gardening with Ben. Hello everyone and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for another episode, third one in a row. So yes, you're getting quite a few this month so far. I always start the month off well and then I soon seem to drop off. So we'll carry on. We'll keep on trying to get you some podcast episodes out there. So what are we talking about today? Today's podcast is going to be talking about everything that we can plant in the vegetable garden, the flower garden, and the fruit orchards in your allotment or in your garden. But if you didn't listen to yesterday's episode, we did talk about all the jobs which need doing in the garden and allotment this month. There's not many of them, but make sure you head back to yesterday's episode and do give that a listen to. So yeah, today's episode is talking about all the things that we can start to sow. And I'm so excited for this because I'm going to be sowing a lot of these plants and seeds. So hopefully we can get things cracking and rolling on. Hopefully it starts to warm up and that'll help the seeds germinate. But yeah, we'll have a look and we'll see what can be sown this month. So, what can be sown in the vegetable garden in March? Usually, what I say to do is get yourself a notepad as to make notes on all the things what I say, and then you will be able to keep up to date and tick them off if you want to grow them, or if you're not bothered in growing them, just leave them off your list. And yeah, let's see what we can start growing this month. But again, this all goes down to the weather as well, whether it's warm enough to help them germinate. So this just gives you an idea of the sort of things that you can actually start this month. So please don't hold me accountable if the seeds don't grow. So first off, if you've not sown your aubergine seed, this is the last month to get them sown. They need to be sown this month if you've not sown them yet, as they do need plenty of time to get growing and get fruiting in the summertime. So if you're wanting aubergine, get them sown this month. Beetroot. Start sowing your beetroot in seed trays ready to plant out in the end of May, June time. Remember to sow them evenly as they will all probably germinate, so don't go too wild with sowing every single seed. Broad beans. Either sow these in the ground or in pots. If you have issues with pigeons, as they will eat the tops off them. So if you've got issues with pigeons, grow them in pots first so that they get nice and big and then plant them out. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts take forever to grow. So if you're wanting to grow some Brussels sprouts, sow them this month for crops in November and December. But did you know you can actually get purple Brussels sprouts as well? So you never know, you might actually like them ones. So why not give them a try? Carrots. You can sow carrots this month in seed trays, or you can wait until it's warmer and sow them where they are meant to grow. So if you're wanting to start some off in seed trays, you can start them off now. But if you're wanting to sow them exactly where they want to be, you can sow them when it gets a bit warmer outside. Cauliflowers. You can sow these this month in seed trays, but which variety will you try growing? I've talked about growing the purple cauliflower plenty of times and had great results from them. So let me know which cauliflowers you're going to be growing. Celeriac. You can sow that this month in a greenhouse. It needs to be sown early as it takes a long time to grow and it's meant to have a really nice creamy taste. I've never actually tried celeriac, so I might actually give that a try this year. Celery, one thing I won't be growing because I absolutely hate it. But if you're wanting to grow celery, this is the month to be sowing it. Chilies. These need a long growing period, and the faster you start them off, the longer they will have to produce crops and keep on fruiting for. So if you're wanting chilies, get them grown now. Kale. Kale's so easy to grow and can have fantastic results. Again, just watch out for the pigeons and the slugs and the moths. But yeah, kale is so easy to grow. So if you're wanting to grow some kale, you can start them off this month. Lettuce. Lettuce can be sown in regular intervals for regular crops, which means that you need to just sow a few seeds every few weeks or so, because you don't want all the lettuce being ready at the same time, as it all does seem to appear at the same time, and it can go to seed literally straight away at the same time. So yeah, be careful and get growing them. Leeks. These need to be sown this month as well, ready for a crop towards the end of the year. Leeks can be quite easy to grow with some fantastic results. Parsnips. These are a lot easier to grow than carrots are. What you need to do is sow them directly into the ground, as they don't like to be transplanted. So if you're wanting to sow some parsnips, sow them into the ground where they are to be grown. But what you can do is cover them back over with some black membrane or a piece of cardboard or something like that to keep the soil warm, to help them to get them to germinate. Peas. These can be sown directly into the ground towards the end of March, ready to be grown outside. But again, be careful of rats, pigeons, mice, because they will like to eat them. Peppers, like chilies, they need a long time to grow, and you're best off starting them now for crops throughout all the summer. So if you're hunting peppers, start them off now for great crops throughout the year. Potatoes. If you've not started chitting your potatoes, this can be done this month, ready for planting out towards end of March, April time. That will be the first thing that we'll be planting outside. So get ready for sowing them potatoes. There's plenty of potatoes in shops at the moment, and seed potatoes. So yeah, have a look around and think about what potatoes you're going to be growing. Radish. You can start sowing radish this month in the greenhouse. Like lettuce, you can do continuous sowings every few weeks so that you'll be picking them on a regular basis. Spinach. You can start to sow spinach outside towards the end of the month. Make sure you've improved the soil though before sowing them outside. Just make sure that the soil has all the nutrients in it so that you get a great crop of spinach, so that it makes it big and strong like Popeye. Spring onion, you can also start sowing that outdoors this month when it starts to get a tiny bit warmer. So spring onion, I really do like spring onion. Again, you can keep growing them on a continuous basis so that you're getting crops all the way through the year. Swiss chard, you can also try growing Swiss chard as well. Not something I fancy, but if you fancy growing some Swiss chard, this is the month to plant it. Tomatoes. If you've not sown them tomatoes, get sowing them in March, as this will give you a great crop throughout summer. I will be sowing all my tomatoes this month from the tomatoes in the supermarket. I'll just be scraping the seeds out, putting them into some compost and growing them straight like that. I did it last year and they worked fantastic. I had some fantastic crops. So yeah, that is every vegetable that you can sow this month in March. So what fruit can we plant this month in March? There's not many fruits that you can plant in March, because the best time to plant a lot of fruit trees is in the winter time, when it's better with the rain and getting them settled into the ground. But you can still plant the fruit trees now, but just make sure that you do keep them well watered and that you do look after them so that they do get rooted into the ground. Next up is rhubarb. Why not try growing the old-fashioned favourite? I've got 16 rhubarb plants on my allotment. So much rhubarb growing. Absolutely amazing. So if you're wanting to grow rhubarb, now is the time to plant rhubarb crowns. However, do not pick them for the first year. You need to let them settle in and take root. So don't be tempted to pick any. Pick it next year. Strawberries, now is the time to be planting all them strawberry runners this month, ready for fruiting this year. If you plant them in hanging baskets or tubs, make sure you keep them watered, as they will dry out a lot faster if they're in tubs and baskets. Right, what flowers can you be sowing this month? And this is the area that I always look into, because I love learning about growing flowers, and I try more and more every single year. So what flowers can we sow this month? This month we can sow asters. They need to be in a warm greenhouse or a windowsill so that they germinate. Busy lizzies. these can be sown this month on a windowsill or a heated propagator. Dahlias, get some amazing blooms in your gardens and grow some dahlia seeds for fantastic flowers. They look absolutely amazing, dahlias, such a nice addition to the garden and allotment. Geranium, now I've grown geraniums from seed before and had fantastic success. So if you're wanting to grow some geraniums, now is the time to be sowing them from seed. Lobelia, why not have some fantastic displays in your pots and hanging baskets by sowing some lobelia seeds? Now, these are really tiny seeds, so it'll be really hard to sow them, but have a look around and give them a try. Petunia, as well as lobelia, these look fantastic in pots and hanging baskets. So if you're wanting some great displays, why not sow some petunias? I'm going to have a lot of hanging flowers on my allotment this year, so watch out for them this year. Salvia, these can add some colour in summer and autumn, so why not try sowing some this month for some fantastic displays. Sweet peas, these can now be directly sown into the ground for blooms all summer. So that is all the flowers that can be sown this month in March. So yeah, I'm going to be putting my list together and start sowing a lot of these. I'm so excited. All my sheds ready built, ready organised, ready to start sowing all them seeds. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be so busy getting all these seeds sown and keeping on top of them and keeping them watered, ready for growing this year. We're going to have some fantastic displays on my allotment. Trust me. If I don't have fantastic displays, you can all hold me accountable and tell me off for not doing a good allotment this year. But please watch this space and see how well we get on. And obviously, I'll be sharing all the pictures on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, do give me a follow and stay up to date with everything that we do. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you hit that follow and subscribe. Until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gardening with Ben, everyone. And that wraps up another episode of Gardening with Ben. Thank you for joining me in this journey. Remember, every seed planted is a step towards a greener world, and every day is a chance to grow something beautiful. Keep nurturing your gardens and your souls. Until next time, I'm Gardening with Ben, reminding you to let your garden be your sanctuary. Happy gardening and see you in the next episode. Remember, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gardening with Ben.